Doug in Nebraska. We keep current customers in the loop with regular emails. What are some ideas to surprise them or give them more than they're expecting? That's a great question. I love this question. That's awesome that you send regular emails. I think, before I dive right into the answer, though, I want to ask you a question, Doug, and all of you. What do you consider regular, right? How often are you communicating with your customers right now? My guess is most of you, I'm not saying this to you, Doug, but most of you do not communicate often enough. When you think of your customers, right? So, okay, here's one way to think about it. If you have a great customer, someone who buys from you and they buy frequently, they buy, they buy a lot, they buy at a high price point, and they're a profitable customer to have, how do you get them to buy more and get them to bring you more of their friends and refer more people like them to you? Well, here's how you do it. You communicate with them more. You send more emails, more text messages, more on Instagram, more on Facebook, more videos on YouTube, on Facebook Live. You communicate more. There's no such thing as over-communicating. Think about it like this. In your life, and this is almost always true, okay, for all of us, the people that we communicate the most with, that we text, the most with, that we direct message the most, we talk to on the phone the most, if you think about it in your life, right, these are almost always the people that we care the most about, right? And we all have people that we care a lot about, but we don't communicate that much with. And our relationship, just because we don't communicate that much with them, it's just not as strong. We might care about them a lot, but we don't have as strong a relationship if we're not always communicating. So the more often that you communicate, the stronger the relationship, right? So I think that's my answer. There's no such thing as over-communicating. And for me anyways, that point is proven every day with daughters. Every day, I learn again that there's no such thing as over-communicating with my daughters. And I'm not making this isn't like a female or feminine joke, right, on communication. This is just a fact. It's just a fact. I learn from my daughter every day that I don't communicate enough. There's no such thing as over-communicating. The joke or sarcasm, humor, maybe poor humor, but my wife and I, we just communicate completely differently. She literally has to tell me things 20 times. It's true. It's just true. And you know what? I'm not annoyed with her because I know that we communicate differently. But your customers want to hear from you. Your best customers want to hear more from you. And you're not going to impose on them, and you're not going to annoy them it's getting dark, by sending more emails. It's really easy for the people who like you and buy from you to not open your email, right? They don't have to open every one. They probably will if they're your best customer. So I would say, define what regular communication looks like and then increase it. Some ideas to surprise them. Yeah, surprise and delight is kind of the name of the game, right? How do you turn an average customer into a great customer? You surprise and delight them, right? And this starts with the very first time they buy from you, with this kind of, it's a welcome box that we send in their order when we deliver it to them. So that welcome box, it's an incredible opportunity for you to surprise and delight them, right? They're expecting hey, I bought 25 pounds of beef. I bought some steaks, roast, and ground beef. And when we throw in a couple extra, we don't always throw in extra beef, but we'll throw in a handwritten letter. We always send handwritten letters. And it's my favorite thing in the world because that is consistently the thing that people get back to me the most on and send me thank yous. I get handwritten letters back thanking me for my handwritten letters. And it is awesome. It's amazing. And it's an incredible way to create a relationship with these customers. So that you can give things that we've done and that we've seen. And you can give a refrigerator magnet. That's fine. Little things like that. But part of the unboxing experience should be that surprise and delight. So a really great one is a key fob, a leather key fob, right, that they would put on their keychain. I got that idea from my grandfather when I was growing up. He had an old Cadillac, this big, huge boat, right? It was a 16-foot long, maybe longer, huge Cadillac. And he had this leather key fob, right? And it was like about that big around, and it just had the Cadillac symbol, but it was like, it was just a nice soft piece of leather with I guess it would have been a brass Cadillac insignia on it. And he used that for years. My whole life, he used it for 30 plus years. And so we got that idea and then created those for our customers. Whoa, it's getting dark. Created those for our customers. And then send those in the welcome gift, right? That's amazing because you're always front of mind that way. And it gives them something to talk about, right? Like it's a great conversation piece. People ask them like, oh, what's that? What is that symbol? You could put your logo on there, or you could put, your logo mark, your watermark, whatever, on there, or something else. But it gives them something to talk about. People will ask them, what that's all about at work, and then before you know it, they're having a conversation. They're talking about the things that they value, and your name comes up, and it's a great way to keep your business front of mind. Another way to delight we love, and so I think pop-up dinners were one of our favorite things to do. Like that was just a riot. We would find a local chef or a restaurant that had a great local chef, and we would just do a free pop-up dinner. So we did paid ones too, but and those worked. We would just about always try to break even on these pop-up dinners. Some of them we didn't charge for. We would just provide the beef, and so the cost of the beef was kind of our cost of participating in the dinner. But it would allow us to then invite a certain number of people to the dinner, and so sometimes we would send customers as like a thank you. Like here's like a date night out with your wife, like the husband and the wife. Thanks for being a customer and welcome to our family, right? The Whisper River family. Or I've done 3 different beef companies, so I use the names interchangeably. Pablo Creek, Whisper River Farms, and the Cowshare. So, and we've done these for all of them. So, but we would send a couple as a thank you, and also we would send bloggers. This isn't really answering the question, but we would send bloggers and people that we wanted to work with or partner with or get to know who were influential. We would send them to pop-up dinners as well. I think my favorite idea for surprising and delighting is surprise them by cooking them dinner yourself and actually come to their home and cook them dinner. This is like one of the all-time great surprise and delight for a new customer especially, or for someone who's been with you a long time and you really sincerely just want to say thank you. Like go to their home or find a chef. If you're not a great, if you don't know how to cook a good steak or burgers or whatever, then find someone who does, partner with them and get the chef to go to their home and cook a meal for them, like in their kitchen, right? He'll bring some of his own stuff. It should be kind of a minimalist little meal, but cook for them in their own kitchen and give them, prepare them like candlelight and music playing, and give the family or the husband and wife like a candlelit dinner, right? Like as a gift from you. There are so many reasons to do this. It does not logically, it doesn't add up, right? You can't go, okay, well, this is going to cost me, right, like $20 in beef and some of my time. Because that's actually, you could find a chef to do this. We never paid a chef to do our dinners or to do stuff like this, ever. I've never paid a chef to cook. So your cost isn't that great, but the benefits are just insane, because this is the kind of thing that gets picked up. The customer is just so blown away when you do something like this. When you treat them to a dinner, a candlelit dinner with this great private chef, right, as a thank you, they're so blown away that what do? Well, they talk about it. They tell their friends. They take pictures, and you or your chef or whoever is there should take photos, right? Absolutely, you should take photos. You should set your iPhone up and film the whole dang thing. And with their permission, you should share it, right? But that's what they'll do. They'll share it. They'll share it all over the place. They'll talk about it. This is the kind of thing that gets picked up by the news. This is the kind of thing that gets picked up by influential bloggers and by influential social media accounts. This is the kind of thing that gets talked about, right? And also, you want to promote this. You want to take the creative, we call the collateral the assets that you get from that event, from that dinner, the photos and the videos, and create some amazing marketing materials around that, okay? That's incredible content that you literally just can't pay for. If you were to go hire a media agency to get you that type of content, what they would do is, first of all, they would charge you $35,000, and then they would go stage a dinner, and they would hire actors, and they would hire a chef, and they would go buy all of these ingredients, and they'd go buy all the kitchen stuff and pots and pans, and they would rent out a kitchen or a space in a private residence, and it would cost you so much money. And then they would go hire other people or have people on their team to, like do all the professional editing and audio corrections and all that stuff. It would cost you tens of thousands of dollars. Or you can pay it would cost you $20 in your beef, and then you go find a chef and you're in business and you've got this incredible story to tell, and that people will tell for you about your business. So, and the way that you get a chef to do it is they get this. It's the same reason why it's amazing for you. All it takes is their time. It's a little bit of their time too, a couple hours. They want to do this for their own social media account. Most businesses are absolutely desperate for great content. They don't know how to create it. They don't know how to get it. And chefs are no different. We have contacted dozens of chefs. We've never had one demand that we pay them to do something like this with us. So those are a couple ideas, and that last one is my favorite. It's the most work, but it's by far has the highest kind of yield, the highest return.